This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue here with professional poker player David Baker. Just won his 4th bracelet at the World Series of Poker. He's also won a football contest here in town not too long ago. Same year, you guys won the Westgate Super Contest, and you almost pulled off Circa Millions. What is that now, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, it was the COVID year.
Okay.
So whatever year that was.
Okay, 2020. So you're also involved with Survivor Sweat. They've been on the show several times. James, who came up with the idea of Survivor Sweat, thinks we're going to get 20,000 people involved in Circa Survivor this year. $1,000 an entry. You can get 10 per person. Last year got to 14.2 million as the overall pot. Does it get to 20,000 in your opinion?
I mean, 20,000 would be an amazing growth from last year, but 20,000 is definitely within the realm of possibility. I think it's a little optimistic, but hey, I mean, as somebody who loves the Survivor contest and obviously is working with Survivor Sweat, I'm hoping that we do hit that $20 million range. I'm sure Derek and Jeff are also hoping that we reach that $20 million plateau. But if it does 15 or 17 million, I think it'll be a massive success, especially with the other things that they're offering this year here. And I know we're going to get to that, but I don't know how much money that takes out of the $1,000 contest and puts into other arenas.
Do you plan on getting into Grandissimo, the $100,000 buy-in?
Yes, my partner and I, Mark Gregorich, we will have at least one entry in the Grandissimo, and we'll be selling some shares. If you want to ride with us, I'm not quite baller enough to do the full 100,000, so we'll have a majority stockholdership in an entry, and we'll sell some pieces either through Survivor Sweat or off. If you want to reach out to me independently, to sell you some. And then also, I know Survivor Sweat is planning on having a couple of entries themselves, and I'll take a small piece of that with Russ and Mike being the primary pickers with those entries. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Anything contest related, I think, is just, it's the future. I mean, it's a way for us to sweat the entire season without having to constantly be funding accounts and
being in front of the screen and on Twitter all day, checking injuries,
yes,
and sitting there
sure.
for 16 hours a day and grinding it out just to get, half a point here on a game that plays on a Thursday night.
For sure. And on top of it, you get that season-long sweat, and you're never really out of it. And the great thing about Survivor Sweat is if things go awry and you're out, you can buy back in. And so, we encourage, if you don't know anything about Survivor Sweat, please go check it out. It's basically a marketplace that you can go to buy and sell equity in Survivor shares. So as the season goes on, you get deeper, your entry's worth more. So you can list your entry, and you can, basically remove some of your exposure that you have and garner some of the profits. And if you want to buy back in, if you lost some, or if you want to hedge, like we saw last year, an entry was bought as a simple means to hedge when they got super deep. So
that was wild.
There's a lot of great things out there with the contest space, and every year there gets to be more and more content out there, which is creating more awareness. And I know that we're expecting a lot of big things over at Survivor Sweat this year. I think last year was kind of, we started to see some growth, and this year we're expecting some real explosion.
Well, as a former winner, what do you think about the changes at the Westgate as well? Now the contest becomes $1,500 entry fee and a $5,000 Survivor, plus they've added a college contest.
Well, the college contest, I don't really know that much about. I'll have to look into that. But as far as the pro contests, I mean, we'll be involved in Westgate. As being a former winner, I think it's important to try to support them as well. I'm kind of jealous that Fezzik gets to be the only two-time winner, and I would like to be a two-time winner of that contest. So I am going to try that as well. But I'll be honest, the heart and soul is here at Circa. Most of my money will be in the Circa contest. That's where the big prizes are. That's where my money will mostly go. I definitely will be maxing out the Survivor and probably maxing out Millions as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I love it. I'm very hard into poker right now, and that's it. But when July 17th comes and the World Series is over, it will be all contest football oriented stuff for me.
Really? Okay. So the two most popular picks in week one, if we can get, let's pretend it's July 18th right now. Okay. Washington plays the Giants, and the Broncos are hosting Tennessee. Do you anticipate being on one of those two big favorites in week one, or do you want to stay away from that?
I mean, as a general rule, I'm going to try to fade the mega chalk. I think strategies for the Grandissimo versus the Millions are a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, in the Circa contest, you've got to pick 20 winners. So I don't know necessarily how cute I'm going to try to get week one. You really think people are like, okay, well, 30% of the people are out week one if the Broncos lose. But all those people are going to be out anyway. They're going to lose in other weeks. So I'm not necessarily that worried about trying to get ahead of them. But I will try to find spots where I think I can gain some leverage on the field. But also, you need to account for what my I guess preseason ratings are for teams and what kind of value I assess them down the line. I'm big on trying to leave myself as many passes as possible because we don't know how this year is going to play out. Like last year, one of our first week picks, we picked the Tampa Bay Bucks to beat the Washington Commanders because we thought the Commanders were going to be terrible and the Bucks were going to be bad, and we wanted to get them out of the way. Well, we were wrong, and at the end of the season, having the Bucks as an option was really a very big feather to have in your cap. And we were wrong on the Commanders. They ended up being really good. So you can only know so much at the beginning. So leaving yourselves as many passes as possible is kind of something we're looking for.
Great time that you came in today. The main event is underway. I'm shocked at how popular this is, but they got over 10,000 players last year. First place was $10 million. What do you expect from the main event this year?
Well, all the projections leading into the World Series were it was probably going to be down with the state of getting in and out of the country being somewhat in flux. But we haven't seen that at the World Series at all. I think we've seen a very strong showing from the foreign contingent, and all the numbers across the World Series are up. So even though I thought we would not break the 10,000 barrier before the year started, I think we're going to actually set a record this year. I think we will top last year's. I think it was 10,100 and change last year.
Yes.
I'm going to say that we're going to beat it. I'm not sure by how much, but I'd say 10,500 is definitely within the realm of possibility. It kind of goes on both sides of July 4th. So if you wanted to play before July 4th, then go home for a couple days and come back for your day two, you could do that. If you wanted to stay at home before July 4th and then come on out on July 5th, you can still do that. There also is day two registration because the World Series is a very slow structure. You can register on day two. And so you can register on July 6th or 7th. So if you're more of a working person out there that can't get as many days off, you can do that as well.
How many more events are you going to be playing, or are there left?
Yeah, I'm going in to play today. There's a $10,000 8-game mix. I will be playing that probably about 4 o'clock our time.
Okay.
I'm going straight there. And I'll be playing the main probably July 5th. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I will play every event that I can between now and the last day. I love the World Series more than anything in poker. It's my favorite time of year. It's my favorite thing to do, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to do it every year, and I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to be out there in the poker streets.
Great job, too, with the fantasy draft. That's very popular, what you guys do.
Thank you. I take pride in that, too. Daniel Negreanu, obviously probably the face of poker, started a fantasy league years ago, and I kind of piggybacked and made a smaller version of his fantasy league. And all the details are on my Twitter or X, AUDavidB. You can follow that. But yeah, I have a smaller version of fantasy poker, and I'm starting to do a lot more content out there. I'm going to be doing some extra content for Survivor Sweat. I started my own podcast, Gamble Up. podcast. So you can find that on all your podcatchers, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. And I'll be recording another one here in a couple days, kind of detailing some things at the World Series. And then during football season, we're really going to go hard on football content. So if you like the things that I talk about, then come on over to Gamble Up Podcast and check us out over there as well.
Excellent. Thanks for coming in. Good luck later today. David Baker.